Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Nikki here, and if you have never been to my YouTube channel before, welcome aboard. Today I am doing day 13 of the Let's Use Up a Whole Book challenge that Tatty Treasure has put together. There's a new YouTuber every day to show you some fun things you can make for your junk journals. And I'm here to do pages 196 through to 211. Now, I only had one Reader's Digest book, which I would have happily used, except I bought that at a garage sale because one of my favourite books that I've ever read was in this Reader's Digest book. And lo and behold, my page numbers 196 to 211 were right in the middle of the reason why I bought that book. If you want something fun to read, A Dangerous Fortune is the story that I am talking about. So of course I had to pop up to my local op shop and go on a hunt for a Reader's Digest. I was very lucky to score this one. The cover is in incredibly good condition. I love the pattern on it, love the colours. The gilding on the edge is still perfect. It has the gold edges on the pages. So I snapped this up, and I haven't even looked at what stories are in it because I thought, nope, we're going to have to use this one. So I have already sped things up just a little bit. I have cut out all the pages, and I have, of course, already cut out the ones I need, if I can find them. There we go. So here are my pages 196 to 211 ready to go. Now, I have been watching all these videos. I have not done any of them yet, simply because I am packing up to move house, so I haven't had time. But I will turn this book into all those fabulous pockets and everything that I've seen people create, and I will certainly do that once I have moved. But I decided I wanted to do something just a little bit different. And how this all started, do you know when we often use book pages in journals, we fold them over and we put them into a journal like that. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't like having my words sitting on a page like that. For some reason, it really annoys me. So when I use book pages in a journal, which I do all the time, I like to join two together and then put them in a journal like that, so that my words are sitting the correct way. I simply put a little bit of glue down the side and I stick two pages together. Now, if I want smaller pages, I can tear these or cut them and make little ones, but this is how I like doing pages. Another great way, this is also a favourite way, you just have a look at this journal I made. I used 2 dictionary pages and I joined them together by using a little scrap of coffee dyed paper that I glued onto both sides, and then I just ran down it with my sewing machine. And again, my beautiful dictionary page is facing up the right way, but it looks very cool, and that's another great way of joining 2 pages together. So what I thought we would do, instead of just making more pockets and things, because there's plenty of those already done, we're going to make some ephemera using book pages, but we're going to attach them to these book pages. Now, I do this quite a bit, and I thought I would just show you some really, really simple ways. And I'm being really good, and I am not going to go through my stash and grab all sorts of fun and fantastical things. I wanted to stamp down the side and stencil down the side and use all sorts of things. And I went, no, we've got to keep things really simple because we're to use up the book pages. So what I did, I put 6 of them together. So I've made 3 pairs. And now we're going to do some fun and very simple decorating. you will still have your blank canvas. You can then put these into any journal that you're making, and then you can add extra bits to it to go with your theme. So let's have a go. We'll start with some really simple things. None of this is difficult. First, I'm going to take one of my pages. I'm going to take my large 40mm circle punch. And if you don't have a punch, that doesn't matter. You can simply use the core of a toilet roll. You could use a roll of washi tape. All you want to do is cut some circles. You can simply cut them out by hand. But seeing I have this punch, and this is one way I like to decorate an edge, I thought I'm going to use my punch, but it doesn't matter if you don't have one, just cut them out by hand. It works just as well. So what I'm doing is trimming out, I think I might quick do one more set of 4, so that I have 8 circles all together. So we'll just do 4 more very quickly. And then what we're going to do is we're going to stick them down the side. Oh, this is very sticky today. I wonder what I've done to my poor hole punch. And as you can see, when I use a hole punch, I like to use it upside down, so that way I can see exactly where to chop. Sometimes if you put the page right to the edge and use it the correct way round, you can waste paper. This way you can judge exactly where you want and look how close you can get to the edge. So turn your punches upside down and you'll use less paper. So now I'm going to grab some glue and I'm going to run it down the edge, and I want to keep it relatively close to the edge. I don't want to go over too far, because otherwise when I squash my circles down on here, the glue's going to spill out to the side, and we want to try and avoid that. So now I'm going to place these down again with just the only thing I want to make sure of is that the writing is the correct way up. And I'm also going to put a tiny bit of glue on here before I pop the next one on, because I just want it to hold a little bit steady. And as you can probably also see, I'm going slightly over the edge. I like making interesting looking borders. You know, quite often when we do this, you know, we use ribbons and rickrack and all sorts of fun things to go past the edge of the page. This way I'm just doing it with paper. So you end up with a rather attractive scallop down the side of your page. And this will almost make it back to the correct size, because I've lost a little bit, you know, where I've joined them together. So there's another one. Oh, I might not quite need all of these, or maybe I will. We're going to find out in a minute. So we're just putting them down randomly. They don't have to be in any order. That's not what we're trying to do here. I just want to get them down. Now, when this is done, what I would probably do is once the glue has dried off a little bit, I would actually probably get my sewing machine out, and I would run a nice little line of sewing down the side there. Oh yes, I will use them all. This will work, because that of course looks quite attractive. And then when you actually want to use this in your journal, you can then add any decoration you like to match your theme. You know, you could stamp on flowers, cut out fussy flowers, anything. You know the things that we love to do. So there we go. We've got a very simple border. And as I said, I would definitely run the sewing machine down there. This will give this some extra strength, because not only have we made a relatively cute looking little border, if you run some sewing down there, you can hand sew it too if you want, but it'll give it a bit more strength. And look, you've also, not only have you got a pretty border, you've made yourself a very cute little tuck spot. Voila, there we go. That one's very simple, isn't it? And all you need is some circles. Then we might open this one up. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to create a tuck spot. Again, seeing we're doing tuck spots. Now, all we're going to do is we're going to fold this over. Then we're going to grab a ruler and I'm going to grab my little craft knife and actually I'll turn it up and do it this way. It might be easier for me, I think, than trying to bend all the way over. And what I'm going to do is cut out a little window. You'll see in a minute what I'm doing. Of course, I can't quite tell if I've got this dead straight, but honestly, it really doesn't matter. I don't want to go all the way down. I want to keep a relatively solid border. There we go. Actually, I'm going to have to do it like this. There we are. Doesn't matter if it's not absolutely perfect. There we go. Cut that side out and then we simply trim it out so that the whole piece pops out. And down here. Now I could simply glue this down and just leave it as an open little window, but just for fun and to make this a little bit stronger, because some of these pages, you know, they're getting old and they're getting a little bit flimsy. So what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to put a little window pane in it. Now this, of course, is just a simple old piece of packaging. You don't have to even worry about measuring it too exactly. There we go. And I haven't even cut this in half yet, so we'll just quickly trim this down. There we go. Now, I hope that's going to fit. Oh, look at that. Absolutely perfect. And then I will actually no, I might use this glue because with the fine tip, I can probably get this a little bit more exact. We're just going to run a nice thin little line down along here. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect. We don't have to be too fussy because this is going to be hidden on the inside once we glue the tuck down. But then we have made ourselves a little window. There we go. Just glue that down there. Perfect. Simple. Now, the only thing I will do is I might just grab my glue stick and actually, no, that is quite flush. Just wanted to make sure that this is not going to get caught. But no, I think we're fine. Let's leave it like that. And then all we have to do is glue down the side here. And here. And of course we don't want to glue the long edge because otherwise we lose our tuck spot. And there we go. As simple as that. And we have a cute little window. And again, whatever prettiness you want to put in beside there, you catch a glimpse of it down there. Look at that. So there we go. We've finished a complete page. And how easy was that? Again, using nothing other than some packaging, which I think most of us have because we like buying craft things. So there we go. That's the first one done. Let's do another one. Now, what we're going to do here, I will grab my next page to start with this one. And I want to trim this white bit off. These pages are definitely delicate. Have to be a little bit careful, that's for sure. Can't be too rough with them. Because what we're going to do is, I think it doesn't have to be too thick. There we go. So what I'm going to do with this one, we're going to make a belly band. Okay. So we will open this one up because we're going to put this belly band down here. So I can already stick that down. Again, just a tiny little bit of glue. This glue is called Tiger Glue. In Australia, you can buy it at Spotlight. I also buy it at my cheap shop. And it's very, very well priced, and it does an amazing job. It comes in quite a large bottle, and you get it for well under $10. And I transfer it into one of these bottles, which I also bought at one of my local cheap shops, for when I want to do fine work. So then what we're going to do, we're going to grab this leftover and we're going to gently fold it in half. Don't force it down. The only reason why I'm pressing it down is just so that it holds together. And what we're going to do is we're going to randomly cut some hearts. Now, of course, if you have a heart hole punch, a heart, hole punch? No, it's not a hole punch. A heart-shaped punch, please feel free to do that. But I just wanted to do these ones by hand because cutting random hearts is very easy to do, because when you fold the paper over, you get a lovely heart-shaped image. And I just want to show people that you don't always have to have all the fancy tools. You just have to do a little bit of fussy cutting. So what we're going to do is we're going to place these on here. Now, again, heart, circle, anything you like. Heart's a very generic shape, so it's sort of something that you could easily use in any page, and it does, and then you can add decoration to it, cute little butterflies or anything when you know what theme you're doing. But you can't sort of go too wrong using hearts. You could put them all dead straight, or you could put them on an angle. I actually quite like both. But I think I might do mine on an angle. Again, I'm just going to run some glue, I think right down the middle, because that way we're going to catch the hearts somewhere along the line. You could, of course, colour these already if you wanted to, but as I said, I promised I'm trying to do the right thing here, so I'm not adding any colour or anything, but you could easily give these a hint of colour first before you pop them down. You could also, of course, do your edges with distress ink, and that would actually look really good too, because these would stand out a little bit more. But as I said, I'm trying to do the right thing and not use anything else, just to show you that you can still make pretty things. But I'm one short. I want one more. I'll just do a long skinny one with that little bit of leftover. And then what I might do is lift this one up, put the bigger one down the bottom, and then I'll put this skinnier one in there. But yes, if you distressed your edges, they would stand out a bit more. But again, not life or death. There we go. We now have a cute belly band with some hearts. And then what we can do, this other one where we've cut our hearts from can also become a belly band. But what I might be tempted to do with this one is possibly not stick it down just yet. It would be fun to back this with paper in the colours and or theme of your journal. But all you have to do is then, of course, stick something coloured. For example, let's say this is a piece of paper. Stick this down onto the paper that you want, or the print or the pattern, and there you go. You've made yourself 2 belly bands in a few seconds. So there we go. That's another one, a way of using up some book pages. So I'll pop that over to the side for the moment. And now we have another one. So we're going to do a different type of fringe. Again, we're going to do this down the edge, and let's see. Okay, doesn't matter whether we have, here we go. We can have the white, that would look okay too. And we want to cut 2 bits. They don't have to be identical. I think we will need 2, but let's just see how we go. So we've cut ourselves some strips. We'll move this out of the way. And then what we're going to do is, well, these are not the same size, but it really doesn't matter. We're going to tear these up into pieces. So we're going to make another border. This one, if you made these bigger, you could again turn it into a tuck spot, but in this case, I'm just going to show you a different way of making a cute fringe down the side of your page to provide some texture and just use up book pages. So what I'm going to do is we're going to just squish them up a little bit. I don't want them to look so perfect. And we're going to pop them down the side. But I think what we might add a little bit of glue along the top there as well. Go and try and just squash it up a little bit. So we're sort of, it's like making a ruffle. You know, with fabric you can do this, of course, a lot easier, but it doesn't look too bad done with paper either. Go. Now, if you like things really neat, you could just fold up at the strip and do it that way. But this is just a little bit different. And again, I would probably get my sewing machine involved and do a couple of rather wonky, definitely not straight because that's not what we're trying to do here. A couple of wonky rows of stitching would look really cool. And then when you use this page in your journal, you can add some pretty things. A nice little strip of lace down the middle would look quite pleasant too. That would work. But again, we're just having fun. We're using up our pages and ending up with some fun things. There we go. Oh, I might need a little more glue under there. And I'm sort of trying to mix up the ones with the white. Oh, actually, I don't have that many white ones left. Go. I should have enough here. We shall see. I think the same thing would look really good too, as if you, of course, did your edges in a darker tone. But not everyone likes everything with dark edges, but it would definitely highlight this. Even if you just did the outer edges, that would look quite cool. Go. Oh, it's getting very grey here all of a sudden. Oh, I think we might be getting some rain. It was so lovely and sunny before, but apparently we are in for a very wet summer here in Australia, which is not what we need after all the flooding we had earlier, but what can you do? It is what it is. Where I live in southeast Queensland, we are subtropical, so it's pretty warm here. It's spring. Our days are already beautiful and warm. I don't like the cold, so that's why I like living here. There we go. Oh, look, we're almost done. Didn't take too long. And we have ourselves a little bit of a rough ruffle. There we go. One more and we will be done. How easy was that? Not difficult at all. There we go. All done. So now we just have to let that dry, and I think a bit of sewing down there would look absolutely perfect. Okay, then we have a little bit of book page left, and what I want to do is some flowers. So again, I have grabbed my punches and I have, this time we're going to do some flower ones. So I'll do a few bigger ones. However many, yep, looks as though I can only fit about 3. I knew this would happen, so I also grabbed my smaller one because I knew 3 wouldn't be enough, but I also knew I was going to run short of book page. I actually needed a couple more pages to do some more of this, but it's okay. There we go. Let's see how we're going here. So, seeing we've got 3 big ones, so we might put 3, we'll start with 3 big blobs of glue, and we're going to put these down, not dead straight. Let's do them on a little bit of an angle, just so you can sort of see the definition a little bit more. Go. And then we'll add a few of these smaller ones too. Of course, if you have more book pages to spare, which I'm sure most of you do, there's no reason why you couldn't attach these to another strip. I just don't have any left to use without going over my budget, which was quite lean. You could attach these to another page and then you would, of course, magically create another great tuck spot. But again, this is just for fun. And, which is the right way? Oh, there we go. We have now a cute flower border. Voila. And, of course, this would look really cute then, you know, with a few little butterflies in amongst the flowers. I know it's because I haven't inked the edges. I really feel that would look really, really cool because they would stand out more, but they are cute. And again, very easy. You can hand cut flowers if you don't have flower punches. But there you go. There's another 2 borders done with our pages. And guess what? I'm done. I have no more pages left. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed this. I just thought I'd try and do something a little bit different. And it's just a great way to use up pages. This way you can have gorgeous pockets and everything ready to go, and then some pages as well, and everything will have a really cohesive feel, which is something I always like. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed making some simple pages ready to go like this. You can put together a journal very quickly if you have a few of these sort of things, you know, ready to go. So thank you for that. Stay safe and stay healthy. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would. I do paper crafting and paper planning videos. Bye for now.